Amen. Well, the last number of different weeks that I have been teaching on when the nation of Israel was leaving Egypt and some of the things that they went through. We've talked about some of the different battles they had, some of the different obstacles that they overcame. And I've mentioned that when we take the stories or the history of the nation of Israel coming out of Egypt, that there's a lot of things we can learn that we can apply to our own lives. You know, a lot of times we think, well, those are Old Testament Bible stories and, you know, that they're not for us anymore. They're for us. They're not to us. But they're still for us. We can still learn from them and we can still receive concepts that will end up helping us to live our lives today. Well, in light of the fact that I've been teaching on this whole, or set of this, not a set even, but just teaching on the whole different issues of Israel coming out of being free from the bondage, I received an article from a man by the name of Bob Rickey, and that tied right in with a lot of the stuff that we were teaching, and I enjoyed the article, so I thought, well, I'm going to end up teaching that article. In case you don't know and you ever want to send me an article about something, a revelation that you've had, if it comes across my desk and I like it, I will give you credit for it the first time. The second time I'll say, it's been said. And the third time I'll say, as I always say. So just so you know how it works, this is the first time I've taught on this article. It was by Bob Rickey. He sent me the article, so as he says, I'll be going through a lot of the different things that he was teaching on. He was teaching about Joshua and the things that Joshua implemented to experience the permanent victory in his life. You know, we're all facing trials, we're all facing situations. Sometimes we think the situations we're facing are so much worse than the situation somebody else is facing. The only reason the situation we're facing is worse than the situation somebody else is facing is because I'm facing it. Whatever you're going through has a tendency to want to grab your whole attention. Have you ever noticed that? It's never something you can think, well, if I would only have the problems that they have. You know, if Melody's problems were the only problems I had, boy, would my life be easy. And Melody's going, well, if I didn't have to deal with any more than Pastor did. Because the situations we're facing are the things that we have to fight, the things we have to battle through. And as we're going through them, it often seems like we're the only ones going through it. And how could it possibly be that we have to face this hard time? Because we don't recognize that the other people are facing the same thing. I mentioned this at men's breakfast last week. I said, you know, the things that Leonard is going through at this time in his life are a lot different than the things I'm going through, or a lot different than, I forget who was the youngest one there that time. Who was there? The youngest one there last time? Anyway, whoever it was. Hey, maybe. I said, whoever it is, the problems that Leonard is facing are a lot different than the ones this fellow was facing. Because there are different points and different situations in their life. Now the things that he's battled through, maybe we're still going to have to battle through. Maybe we're never going to have to battle through those things. But I says, whether I'm battling to try and find a wife, that can be an all-consuming thing when you're single. But that could be a whole different battle than if I'm trying to decide what to eat for farm. It's a different time and it's a different place. But it's a situation where what we are facing is affecting us to such a degree that it wants to wrap us up in it totally and completely. Well, the things that Joshua was facing were different things that any one of us has ever faced or probably ever will. Not one of us that I know of has ever had to lead a whole nation into another land and conquer all the inhabitants of that land. Not unless you're playing a video game or something. None of us has ever had to try to take new territory, try to lead a group of people that is known for their murmuring and complaining into a place where they don't want to go. Unless you're fast. We've all faced different things and the situations are different. Well, Joshua had a fight, but none of us have had to fight. He was the man that was chosen to take the nation of Israel from the edge of the promised land into possessing their inheritance. Now they finally came to a place where they've quit complaining long enough that they got to this place. They've all died off. He's got a whole new generation. The younger people are all ready. He says, okay, let's go take the promised land. We're ready to go through the river and take the promised land. And everybody's, yeah, let's go. And one of the first things to meet is the city of Jericho. A city that has been walled, that's been surrounded. A city that has this whole, the battle guards all around it. A city that can't be taken. And yet that's one of their first battles. He has to lead the nation of Israel through this, past this. What I want to cover today is some of the concepts that Joshua had, some of the keys that Joshua had in his life, which helped him to fulfill the call of God that was on his life. When you read through the book of Joshua, you find out he's a very highly respected and a very well-loved leader in the Bible. He was not only a great military leader, but he was also a great strategist and a systems builder. He was able to make plans, he was able to set plans and lead the people till those plans are fully fulfilled. Highly skilled in administration, he possessed the promised land for himself and for those that he was leading. He was a good administrator. He was a good military man. He was a good strategist. He knew how to build systems. He knew how to come to a place where he could lead these people into the place that are supposed to be. He was able to develop a strong foundation on which the future generations would be able to succeed and grow. This all fell upon the shoulders of Joshua. When they moved into the promised land, he got to lay the foundations. He got to set what was going to happen. And a place where the nation of Israel would fulfill their national dream and their own private dreams. Now they had a national dream about becoming a mighty nation that would be as the sand of the sea or the stars in the sky. They had a national dream about being a nation whose God would be the God, who was going to be able to overcome the other lands, who would be able to live in a land that was flowing with milk and honey. They had a national dream of being a people that was going to worship the true and the living God. But they also had individual dreams. Every man that went into that promised land had a dream of becoming a success story. How do I know that? Because I know what God puts in the hearts of people. They had a dream of going in and being the biggest farmer that had ever been seen upon this land, having the best crops that they had ever had. They had a dream about establishing businesses, about raising families, about raising children, about raising children's children. They had a dream about being merchants. They had a dream about their own lives and their own success stories, but their own, as well as the national dream. And Joshua established a foundation upon which all of these dreams would be able to be fulfilled. See, sometimes we forget in our land that our national dream does not have to stop our individual dreams. Just like in a church, if God has placed a ministry in you or given you a ministry, that ministry that God has placed within you is not there to fight against the ministry of the church. It's there to augment and to help. Our individual dreams in the nation of Canada are not there to make the nation of Canada out to be something wrong. It is a place, the nation of Canada has given us an umbrella wherein we can have our individual dreams and bring them to a place of fruition also. We can have the dream about being successful and having homes and having, in fact, I know when we were talking to Edward and Irina one evening and we're just sharing these things, in Germany we wouldn't have been able to build a new house. We had to come to Canada. Well, that's part of the Canadian dream, to have your own house. Our government is not against you having your own house. In fact, they make it quite easy for a lot of people to have their own house, even when they shouldn't have their own houses. Because that's part of our dream. That every man will be able to have their own. Every man will be able to have their own house, their own place, their own business, their own development, their own. That's part of the dream of our country. But those dreams, our dreams, can flow in the larger dream. And we all work together to bring the dream of Canada to be. What is the dream of Canada? Healing for the nations. We're a place where people can come from all countries and they can be healed. They can get born again. They can go back to their own nations and teach the gospel. We're a dream where the Lordship of God is supposed to be from sea to shining sea. When you go to the Parliament buildings, you're going to find that inscribed there, right on the main building stones. in the sanctuary, in the foyer there.